Hello. I can't hear your, oh, you're connecting to audio. Okay. Can you hear me? Hi, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Okay. Shut this one.
Yeah.
How's everything?
There.
Good.
Yeah.
There, I can hear you, Beth. I think.
Can you hear me okay? Okay,
Yes.
good. Good. So I bought a new computer today and I was like, yay, I can get on a new computer with the Zoom and it will work. And it took a really long time to set it up. And it's set up now, but the resolution is awful. And I'm like, there's something wrong with this computer. So
Oh,
I think
no.
yeah, so I think I have to bring it back. Unless when my son gets home, maybe he can help me fix it. But so I'm on my phone tonight.
It looks good though, to me. You look great.
So this is my phone. This is not
Okay.
no, I did not look great on because I tested it. I installed Zoom and I tested it. I was like, whoa, like, that looks like a cartoon.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. But so anyway, the phone works just fine. So
Good.
yeah.
I'm eating soup. Sorry.
All this is being recorded. I had to start recording before I could.
So I'll stop eating soup.
No. No, you're on mute.
It's in a coffee mug, so I can drink it.
Muted, but I have to switch microphones. I never know which one's going to work. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. I'm home with a sick child right now, so I apologize in advance if I have to excuse myself. He's been very needy today, so yeah. He may make an appearance and just sit. I sat through a whole meeting with Christina with him on my shoulder.
Oh.
Usually it's one of your kitties.
Yeah.
Mine is desperately trying to get in my lap here, but
yeah.
Beth, thank you so much for the pillows.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
That was very nice of you to do.
I hope people want them. Hope people buy them.
Yeah, I hope we get a decent crowd.
Yeah.
Is that for friends?
For the sale.
The shopping
thing
on. Yeah. Hi, Marguerite.
Greetings. How is everyone?
Pretty good. How are you?
All right. Some bushes have little flowers on them. That's always good.
That's
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. If the sun would just come out.
Oh well.
Yeah.
How is everybody here? Through the town website or a link?
Town website.
Right, town's website.
Yep, town website. Yeah.
And I see that Susan's here, but it's really Bob.
Somebody has to let me in, I think.
Oh, Sue, no.
You're let in. You're part of the panel. You just have to turn your video on.
Oh. You're asking me things I have no idea how to do. All right. Well, you can hear me though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And we can see Bob.
You can see a husband with a box of oranges sitting in the snow.
Well, I unfortunately have a very old PC in the cellar that has no Zoom capabilities on it, so I have to use his.
I like the black cat passing our path.
I have one too.
We love our kitties.
I believe David isn't able to join us tonight, if I recall. So I think we have everybody.
Awesome.
Oops, we've lost Sue. No, we're good. Well,
I'm
who are we
here, I'm
missing?
just not visible. Oh, wait a minute, let me try this.
No, I guess we have everybody.
Okay.
So is that a cast on his leg or just a really weird pair of pants?
Socks.
No, he has a prosthetic leg.
Oh, he does.
He wears
okay.
he wears that smiley face thing, leg covering for the
Oh,
prosthetic.
I thought it was a cast.
Oh
On the
no,
outer leg.
it kind of looks like one, doesn't it? But no, it's just a covering that he wears over his prosthesis. So
Oh, okay. It's a very mysterious photograph, actually. It's like,
You could write a short story about it.
yes.
okay, let me go back.
I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. So the remote virtual meeting of the Southborough Youth Commission was called to order at 7:04 p.m. on May 3rd, 2022 via Zoom. The first on the agenda is the March meeting minutes for March 8th, 2022. And we'll need a roll call vote on those. Was everyone able to review those?
I just wasn't there for the actual meeting, but.
Okay. If I can have a motion from someone to accept the minutes.
So I'll move to approve the March 2020 minutes.
Second.
All right. Beth Dombacher.
Aye.
Susan Butka.
Aye.
Lauren Ritchie. Aye. Marguerite Landry.
Aye.
Susan Byer.
Hi.
Sarah Micas.
Aye.
Thank you. And then on to the April 12th, 2022 minutes, our most recent meeting. Did anyone have any edits or changes to make to those meeting minutes?
No.
Okay. I can have a motion.
I'll move to approve the April 2022 minutes.
Second.
All right. Beth Dombacher.
Aye.
Sue Butka.
Aye.
Lauren Ritchie. Aye. Marguerite Landry.
Aye.
Susan Byer.
Hi.
Sarah Micas.
Aye.
Thank you. Oh, you know what? Oh, darn. Somehow I didn't print out the agenda.
Do you want to make a minute and do it?
Right. Oh, I know director's highlights are next. It's always next, but I might have to depend on someone for the later parts of it.
Do you want to just print it out now? We can wait. It's no problem. I have done this before, Lauren, in other meetings.
Or you
Sarah has
can
them.
also, if you go to the town website and look up Youth Commission under boards and committees, it will have the posted agenda there. That's
Got it.
what I usually do.
Okay, found it. All right, director's report.
So firstly, happy Mental Health Awareness Month, everyone. I would say that those are the majority of the highlights. And I just want to say, I know there's a lot to cover in tonight's meeting, so I'm keeping the highlights brief for that reason. But yeah, in general, you know, it's been sort of all hands on deck, with the exception of Megan and our counseling psychology intern. The two of them have been completely focused on providing mental health support to residents, but Shannon, Christina, and I, and mostly Shannon, have been working very hard to get ducks in a row for Mental Health Awareness Month with different programming and coordinating with other departments. I'd love probably to talk about this a little bit more in depth as I get to know it, but we had a nice presentation at the Metro West Youth and Family Service Directors meeting from an organization called Behavioral Health Partners of Metro West, who offers a similar service to that of Interface. And it's only for Metro West communities. So I'm learning more about it. It's certainly not a substitute for Interface because it's a very small department made up of 3 people, but it's another option for our residents to get support with finding mental health services as well as some other services. So I hope to tell you more about that in future months.
This is something,
Sarah, go ahead, Sarah.
yeah, I was just, this is something you're going to do in collaboration with Westboro?
Sorry, I'm home with a sick child who's screaming.
I hear him,
I hear
Sarah.
him. He's crying.
Oh,
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
bring him in.
We can do a brief, brief director's report because we have so much other stuff and it's, obviously very difficult for you right now, Sarah. And so, if anybody.
We could come back to it later.
Yeah, or if people have specific questions, maybe that would be better instead of.
And we could send them to you so that you can leave the meeting, if you have to.
Yeah.
Because we have to talk about the letter that we're trying to send in support, which Sarah should not be part of the discussion. And we have to vote on the 2 awards.
Yeah.
So that'll take a chunk of time.
Yeah. So
well, I'm certainly happy. The intention with the director's report is to, here he comes.
That sounds horrible. I feel guilty.
Okay.
No.
But please come with questions the next time we go over the director's report because
All right.
excuse me 1 second.
Yes.
Sure.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Sarah, yeah, that's fine.
I feel her pain.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely.
It's visceral.
I remember those days. Yikes.
I just worry about my dog,
Let's get down to Sue. Do you have a friends report? I know Shop with a Purpose is coming up.
It is coming up on Saturday, and I really hope that you all can make it. We have some great raffle prizes. It's going to be, we have a photographer there, and it's going to be all decorated with beautiful spring flowers. We're all of a sudden very nervous that the turnout isn't going to be great, but that happens all the time with these things. So I'm hoping because it's the day before Mother's Day, and it's for such a great cause. So please, if you can come, even for a short period of time, it would be greatly appreciated.
I'll be there.
Okay. That's really all I have to say. It's coming along. We just need people to show up.
Sure, sounds good. So the next on the report would be the review of the draft, the kind of second draft statement for the town website. I had taken the edits from last meeting and made it into a new draft. Does anyone have comments or further edits?
I think it looks great. I think it turned out really good. That's how I feel.
I think it was both simple, but also will be informative for the community.
How do we post it?
We just send it to Mr. Haggerty and he'll have it posted.
Okay.
It'll be posted on the website. Yeah, I thought it was very well done. Thank you for all the collaborative effort in putting this together. I think it's very succinct and to the point and not boring.
Short is good, right?
Yeah, short is good.
So if there's ever any like pushback on any of it, we could always edit it later. So it's not like it's the Constitution of the United States and it's going to be there eternally. We can, if there is any problem with it, can always be edited, but I just thought it was a good ad for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really easy to read. The layout is nice and I like it.
I'll send that I'll send it to Jim Hegarty, or Christina can do that, one of the two of us this week.
So do we have to vote to approve it?
Sorry.
Okay, I move to approve the copy as amended.
I'll second that.
All right. Beth?
Aye.
Marguerite?
Aye.
Sue Butka?
Aye.
Susan Byer?
Aye.
Sarah Mikas?
Aye.
All right. And Lauren Ritchie? Aye.
Who moved to approve?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
As amended, yep.
Yep.
Oh, as amended in this but this is the version that.
Oh no, I moved to approve this version. Yes, yes,
okay.
yes. As it, yes.
Final draft, yeah.
All right. Next on the list is, and I have to find the. Does anyone mind if we go to the ARPA funding next? Since I have it in the packet in that order.
Sure.
All right. So the letter from the third draft version from Marguerite. I thought it was. I don't have any edits myself. I thought it was very supportive of the situation, descriptive of it, open to comments. We can go around. Sue, do you have any comments?
No,
you weren't here last week.
It was actually last month that I wasn't here, not
last month. I meant.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Feels like
sorry, I screwed that up. So, no, I have no comments. Good job, ladies.
Beth?
I think it's fine. It's everything we wanted, and I think it's very supportive and it gets a message across, and I think it's great.
Sue Byer?
I think everything was good.
And Sarah?
Yeah, first, it was very well written, and I really enjoyed all the statistics. I think that's very helpful in supporting our arguments. There's a lot of data here that shows that the documents the mental health crisis in our state and our community. So I appreciate that. I had no other edits except my name was spelled wrong.
I spelled your name wrong. I know. I'm so sorry. Okay. I looked at that and it was like, I've turned you into a mineral.
That's okay. I feel like that sometimes. So. No, I thought it was fantastic. Thank you so much. I know that a lot of effort goes into these kind of things. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, let's hope it works.
It's incredibly convincing. So
I was just thinking it's $3 million and it's going for things like signage on the trails.
Yeah, no, that really kind of irks me.
I know, and I just think we should get more than we're asking for.
The only thing, and Marguerite, I know you had asked for my input. I'm sorry that I hadn't had a chance to respond. Interface was closed for 3 weeks. I don't know if it's a small detail, but just wanted to share.
It's more accurate. Okay. All right. Thank you. What have you done with your child, Sarah? He's awfully quiet.
Some Benadryl.
I won't tell. No, I'm just kidding. He's laying with his head on my lap right now.
Oh.
He just needs to be next to me.
That's okay. I feel you.
So if I could just say something that when you commented on the signs for the trails, I have conservation land behind my house, and there was a sign that suddenly appeared, and now I know where it came from.
Well, I don't know if it did. It might not be. All I know is that and I have nothing against signs for conservation land, and I'm sure the money hasn't been distributed, I don't think, but I just think that we should really be first in line with our hands out here for
absolutely.
Or if it's in
for
conjunction with mental health, maybe some mental health trails where you can go, and there's mindfulness signs along the way, making you kind of be introspective. So
there's therapists hiding in the bushes.
Or just affirmations.
That would be great.
Tree bathing is a real thing. Tree bathing.
Actually,
okay.
I'll give a plug for one of the events happening in the month of May is in conjunction with the Trails Committee, and they have a forest bather who's coming. Well, she's a licensed mental health counselor, but she also is a certified, I'm not going to get this right, but she leads people on forest bathing excursions. And so she's doing that as part of Mental Health Awareness Month on May 15th at Beals Preserve.
That's great. That is great.
Great way to collaborate with other departments.
Yes, and I don't mean to knock the Trails Committee. It just seemed like we love the trails. They're beautiful, but when you're flat out, Sarah, and you haven't got enough people, and somebody calls and they really need to see somebody, we really do need another clinician.
Yeah, and I would just add that it's not even just us that responds to mental health needs in the community. I mean, we're all working together, but I know the schools, when we go into the schools, we support their mental health needs as well. And I know that they would be right there behind us saying, yes, please,
Yes, please.
in response to, and I'm, this is, I don't know enough information yet, but there's a possibility that we might not have the mental health support that we've always had through advocates in the police department moving forward. There's some whisperings of that.
Why would that be?
It has because that was through a grant fund. So I know that there's various groups that are looking for additional funding for that. But I don't know very much, but preliminarily what I know. So at any rate, yes, there's the need within our department, but just, I think you guys are speaking on behalf of the community, really to say this is something that ARPA funds could and should be used for, which is great. And many people will echo that.
What is the procedure for actually getting the letter to the appropriate people? Does it get sent as an email by Lauren?
For this letter?
Yes.
I think that's what I would do, but boy, it's a lot of people. To send it to the committee for the ARPA committee and then send it to Mark Purple and the individual.
I would personally send it to every member of every committee individually, because I have known things to go to the Board of Selectmen and then sometimes it doesn't reach the individual selectmen. So I would strongly recommend CC, just doing a CC for everybody on the ARPA committee and everybody on the Board of Selectmen individually.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents there, but
voice of experience.
It's the voice of desperate experience. Yes.
Sounds good. Marguerite, thank you so much for spearheading that and putting that together.
Thank you to Beth, who sent me stuff, and David, who sent me stuff, and Sarah, who mentioned, both Sarahs who mentioned in the meeting things, and I really appreciated getting those little bits that I could follow up on to make it sound more, what's the word I want, specific.
And compelling.
I think we're moderately desperate, aren't we, right now? I mean, there's so many people who are needing help, right?
Well, we used to use the word drowning, and that still applies. I think.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
All right. So moving on to the next, for some reason it's in the first packet posted, but I don't see it in the revised packet, the description of the offices. And we thought that probably an annual review of this description. Let me see if I can share screen. There we go. Can everyone see that?
I
Okay.
can.
So if we did an annual review of the offices, followed by in May, that would be this meeting, nominations, and then in June there would be the election, and everyone has time to think about that. So this was voted on. I looked it up and I don't recall the month at the moment, but it was one of the meetings last year. And the offices are chair, vice chair, secretary. There's a review of the responsibilities of all board members, the role of the Youth and Services Director and the Youth and Services Admin Assistant. This was included in the packet. Is there anyone who has any changes at this point, that additions, changes, edits?
I could do some edits, just that if it says hosts all board meetings, it should say works with SAF and approves and conducts and calls for votes. In other words, it should just all be grammatically parallel, just for editorial smoothness.
Where is that?
Well, see the first at the very top. See, it says chair, hosts, conducts all board meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next line should say works with SID director. And the line after that should say approves expenses. And the line after that should say conducts. In other words, it should all say host all board meetings, work with, approve, or it should say hosts, works, approves. Do you see what I mean?
I do, and we can make those changes.
Yeah, it's just real tiny, just a smoothness.
I agree with Marguerite. The parallel structure on the bullet points would be nice.
Yes, thank you. Parallel structure. That's the word I was groping for.
Okay, I also think we need a title to this so it doesn't just sit there. Offices.
I kept looking at this going, what is this again?
I know. Offices of the Southborough Youth Commission.
Description of duties, officers of Southborough Youth Commission, description of duties or something
and
like
responsibilities.
That. Yes, description of duties and responsibilities.
And probably have a annual review date of, so this would be reviewed May, whatever, 3rd, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And make those changes. Okay. I could probably make sure that all of the abbreviations are defined at the beginning of the document when they first come up, like OML. Vice chair, secretary. Any other edits? So we'll go through all the way down through that, and I can bring this back to the June meeting as an edited document.
Under secretary, once minutes are approved, as opposed to at subsequent meeting, I would just strike at subsequent meeting and put in by youth commission. Because it doesn't say who should approve the minutes. It's bullet point number 3 under secretary.
Yeah, once minutes are approved at subsequent youth commission meeting.
Beautiful.
subsequent youth commission meeting, send minutes to town clerk's office.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
That was all. Oh, and then I had, as far as all board members, I hate to be the person who's doing this. I think all board members, the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the 5th one where it says understand and comply with open meeting law, I would say just comply with open meeting law. And then the other part is the last one there, do not deliberate on email outside of meetings. That is part of open meeting law. So I would say comply with open meeting law, comma, including no deliberation on email or in conversation outside of meetings. That's just what I would do, because it seems like the last one there, do not deliberate on email outside of meetings, that is part of open meeting law.
So no, including no deliberation in email or in person. What did you say?
Outside of
no,
meetings.
Outside of meetings.
Yeah. So, because you can't say understand and comply, you just have to say you only can do it by what they actually do, which is comply, I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then maybe on the one that says volunteers to complete tasks as requested by the Southborough Youth and Family Services Director, you could just say complete tasks as requested, because we're all volunteers.
Okay.
That would just be my changes.
Completes tasks as requested.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Back to parallel structure, right?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, it dies hard.
No, this is great.
You write all those manuals and then it never goes.
I know. I've been there.
Any other comments on this document?
No.
All right. We'll open up for nominations, and I think we agreed, I don't know if it should be written in here somewhere, but nominations can be self-nominating.
I nominate Lauren for chair.
I second.
Aye.
Okay.
We're voting you in whether you want it or not.
She doesn't have a choice.
If that's okay with you, Lauren.
Yeah, I would accept it.
So we're nominating, we're not voting, right?
No, we're nominating.
Yeah.
Any other nominations for chair?
Dead silence. We know you're good.
Well, I wish David was here today too.
Yeah.
Vice chair?
So at this juncture, I think I should tell everyone that my term is up at the end of June and that I have decided not to reinstate my term. So the vice chair is open for grabs.
Well, that's too bad, Beth.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot on my plate right now and something has to give, and I love all of you and I love being in your presence, and it's been wonderful meeting you all.
Even though we haven't been in each other's presence.
Yeah, yeah. Something has to give, so I had to make some tough decisions. But it's been a great experience.
Well, better for you, but worse for us.
Definitely.
It's so sweet. Thank you.
I just want to say I'm here. I'm sitting in the dark at the moment with a child on top of me. So I have my camera off, but I can't not comment on that announcement, Beth, because frankly, I lose track of the number of years, especially during this pandemic, but I know you've dedicated a lot of time to our department and supporting us in various capacities, not just on the board. So I hope we get to continue working together, and you know, maybe if things change in the future, you know, we'll have the opportunity to have you back.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much.
That would be great.
I thought long and hard about it, and I just realized that I just have so much going on, and even though it's just a couple of hours once a month, it just, something has to fall off.
Yeah, and it's more than that, Beth. It's been over years, right? So you're committed.
Well, I've been on the board for 5 years, but before that I was the friend.
Right. You want to be a
best friend
again?
I did the banking for so long. That was hard. But I loved every minute of it. So I'm really.
I didn't know what I was jumping into a year ago, but having Beth on the agenda setting meetings every month, she's been able to pick up on things that I never would have picked up on, and she's gotten. I keep sending you documents that she's found, and that the review of the history of the Youth Foundation was so interesting. It was great that she did that. So Beth, thank you very much for your time this year and being the vice chair. It was really invaluable.
Thank you.
I commend you both. I mean, you both jumped into new positions in a pandemic, and I really appreciate all your time and effort. And we've had to kind of come up to the standards of the open meeting law, you know, become more formal, and I just really appreciate all your efforts. Beth, you have always been there. Your opinions, I know that mental health issues are dear to your heart, and you've always poured your soul and intelligence and compassion into it. So, and Lauren, I really appreciate you keeping the engines going. I think that you've really helped streamline our board meetings, and I really appreciate that, especially from a secretarial position. So
that guide that Lauren sent out, like every so often I would try to search to find if there was like any formal guide for what people are supposed to do when they're on a board. And finally something showed up when I Googled it like a few weeks ago. Like I've been doing it every once in a while for a long time, like trying to find something. And that was just written in February of this year. So it's brand new, and it's got a lot of really great information in it. So I hope that everybody will take a few minutes to review it.
Yeah, it's very useful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Beth.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I really have loved meeting everyone. Most of you I probably wouldn't even known if it wasn't for this opportunity.
Well, we're doing lots of outreach, so we'll see you around town.
You won't get away. We'll see you at the Gardeners. Now I'm having separation anxiety. You're our researcher, Beth. What are we going to do now?
Maybe we needed a historian on here.
Yeah,
seriously.
seriously.
Would be great.
Well, we do need a vice chair. Is there anyone who
nominate David?
I was thinking of David or Sue. Do you want to do it?
No. Thank you, though.
Okay. Or what about Suzanne? Do you want to do it? I mean, you're both here. We can.
I'm not very good at those kind of things. I'm really not. Could we nominate David?
Yes, let's nominate David because he's not here.
How about Marguerite?
How about Marguerite? I was
No,
gonna
I
say,
have.
what about-
I'm chairing, and I'm chair of too many things at this point, and
You have too many chairs.
I have too many chairs.
You have a dining room.
I have a dining room chair, I have kitchen chairs, I got patio chairs. That's all over the place. I think David would be great.
I think he would be too. Can we call him?
Yeah, or we'll just tell him congratulations the next time he shows up for a meeting.
Well, we still, I guess, we're moving for a nominations month and then
All right,
an election month next time. So we have
Okay.
time.
that's
Okay.
fine.
Secretary.
Sarah,
Sarah, there's no
I
one as
nominate
good as you are.
myself, I guess.
I second.
Thank you. That is great. Please. You're just
All right.
really good at this.
Well, thank you. I enjoy it and it keeps me on task, and I'd be taking notes anyway. So it's just a compulsion of mine. So you're feeding my need, OCD.
Wow, that's really good.
It's a
The
win-win
notes have been
situation.
great. And I've used these minutes a number of times to go back and look what was discussed and who was there. And
Yeah,
it's
they're
been really
good.
helpful.
No, I'm thinking of revising the format as we go ahead because there are some little weird things that I inherited. So maybe that will be part of the new year. So look forward to the new and improved minutes of
Thank
the Southborough Youth Commission.
Thank
Oh,
you,
for
thank you, Sarah.
Fiscal year 2023, we're getting a new thing, right? It took me
Yeah.
so long to figure out what a fiscal year was.
All right. Thank you for going through that process. And any other comments on that process?
Well, so do we have to have David accept a nomination, right? Yeah.
Right.
You know, we don't
So-
know what he's thinking.
Lauren, could you reach out to him? Is that deliberation outside the meeting? I don't know, but it would be nice to let him know
You could
that.
hint to him that he should watch the Zoom or he's going to be very sorry.
No, I think I should be able to email him without it being a deliberation.
Right.
If it's just the two
If
of us communicating that.
I was going to say, if it's helpful in any way, I'm also happy to do that for you. As I know, if you have any concerns about it, I know that as a town employee, it's not letting him know what transpired during a meeting is not a risk, I guess. So.
No, I think Lauren could tell him because it isn't deliberating, it's just telling him.
Okay. All right.
How about
Just wanted to
asking
offer
him?
that just in case.
Congratulations, David.
Asking, telling, yeah.
All right. Well, again, it's nominations. So
Yeah.
I will do that. So let me just get back to my, whoops, stop sharing. Stop sharing. I've screen sharing is definitely not my strong point. So the agenda, there we go, is the Ellen Piontek scholarship applications.
Good.
Can I'm raising my hand, but you can't see me. I just wanted to tell you I had a lovely conversation with Ellen Piontek yesterday. She called me looking for assistance for a client of hers. And I mentioned to her that we were discussing this evening, and she just wanted to express her gratitude for this still continuing after so many years. And I said, Ellen, you know, I tried my best to share with our current youth commission who you were and why this started. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, that she was kind of surprised that her name was still resounding here at Youth and Family Services and the Youth Commission after all this time. So
she's a lovely person. She really is.
She is. Yeah. If you haven't had a chance to meet her, she's also very funny. She's a jokester. So I told her I'd invite her to a youth commission meeting to tell jokes at some point. So
Or we could use that.
Okay, so Ellen Piontek, here we are. What are we gonna?
We have 5 applicants, and they all are great applicants. As I think David noted last meeting, there's not a very clear connection with, mental health volunteer opportunities here, but everyone has excelled in their own ways. I thought we could maybe go around and maybe start with one round of support for a particular person and see how that comes out. Unless you wanted to talk about, as you went through this process, if we came up with something that you used in your head for what the criteria could be or should be for this, and then we can judge them all. We could agree on that first and then judge, have a final applicant selected because of that, or we could just discuss the applicants.
So I have a question. When I read these, I could see that some of the people came from backgrounds that made their lives a little bit easier than other people here. It seemed like some people, well, not so much this year, but some years it was like, oh yes, my community service was when my family took a 3-month vacation in China and I could look out of the window of the train and blah, blah, blah. And then there would be other people that would say, well, I'm holding down 4 jobs to pay for my schooling next year. And so some of me thinks some of the applicants have done a lot, but that others could use the support. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And is it just, I don't know, it's just
based on need. I mean, I don't
yeah,
think
or based on, I think you've done really well considering. I mean, some people obviously have a lot easier time than others in terms of applying to college because their families provide them with a lot of advantages that other people don't get. So I guess my question is, does it go to somebody I feel is worthy or somebody I feel has accomplished more?
Let me see. Sarah has her hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to share, so we're not taking that route with this group, but Algonquin has changed the way that they choose recipients for scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
They formed a scholarship committee, and they did so with the intention of trying to get scholarships in the hands of young people who don't have as many opportunities. So trying to connect scholarship with need was one of their main priorities. So we didn't utilize the scholarship committee because this group is choosing the recipient, but I just wanted to give you guys that background, that if you wanted that to be part of your criteria, that would totally be in keeping with what the school is trying to do, because they were seeing a lot of the same kids applying for scholarships, but who really didn't have the highest level of need for that kind of support. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of what people are expecting, I guess.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to base, we don't have criteria for need-based kind of criteria. It would be just speculation based on what they wrote. So I do have a hard time, I think that would be great to, prioritize those that are more in need in terms of a financial situation or a home situation. But at this point in time, our application doesn't have anything that would help us discern that, except for prose and copy, you know, that we could say, oh, they went on a vacation to Europe or whatever. So I think at this point in time, we should just base it on the content that's presented and the criteria that I think it's based on, you know, our quest here is to find people that have done a lot to promote community-based service and volunteerism. And that's what I think the Ellen Piontek mission is. Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, she put a lot of emphasis and value on community service, not only for the community, but also for the individual participating. So just for another time entirely, if this group wanted to add anything about need to the application, we have a number of need-based programming or programs that we offer that have eligibility requirements based off of finances, and we're happy to contribute to the development of that piece of the application if you guys want to do that in subsequent years.
How much money are we talking?
It's $1,000.
Yeah, so it's not nothing, right? Yeah.
I think it's so different, at least for me, picking two, because, well,
What's one, right?
I think, oh, I'm sorry. Is it one or two this year?
One.
Okay.
One.
Yeah.
Before it was people that volunteered for the department or for other things in town, and because of the pandemic, obviously, it sounds like David talked about that too. It couldn't be that way this year, so we don't have junior board members. We don't have any of that anymore. Yeah. So,
despite that, we got 5 good applicants. And
right.
I think we can definitely pick a deserving award recipient here.
So I was really impressed with the you know, the depth of their essays. I mean, in the past they have been kind of skimming, and I just really thought these were very thoughtful, and it made it very challenging for me, because I do think that the people that applied actually really want this scholarship, whereas in the past I felt like people were just applying for the sake of applying. So
the two that stuck out for me essay wise were B and D. I don't know. Yes, Beth.
I chose D.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, can I tell you why?
Yes.
But I was interrupting you. If you want to finish first, that's fine.
No.
Oh, okay. So I really scoured them because, you know, they all wrote a lot, and in the past we have kind of looked for someone who was going into a field that fit our department. So I was looking for the little, you know, the little bits that showed true personality, I guess you could say. And a quote from D was, one of my favorite feelings is the feeling of being able to give back to others after you have been given so much. So that really spoke to me, and that told me that that person is very grateful for what they have and recognizes that there are people who have less. Now, I don't know what this financial background is of this family or anything, but obviously the student feels like they have much and recognizes that there are people who do not, and enjoys helping those people. So that is why I chose D.
I would have to second that. That was my number one. I tried to go through each one and put check marks next to things that I thought were indicative of Ellen Piontek's mission and her cause. And this one, I just kept saying, you know, checking community service. you know, in terms of what when they listed their involvement in programs and in and outside of school. But as with Beth, when I was very touched by the essay, because it just kept coming back to the internal reality of doing something for somebody else. And it wasn't forced because I want to be on the National Honor Society. This is something that this person truly believed in. And, you know, when she said it should not feel, or he, it should not feel like a chore or a burden, but it should be something that you like doing because you can give back all that you have been given. I just really, I found it really moving. And I wholeheartedly support this particular application. So,
and to know that by giving of yourself that you get that back in return, and being grateful for what you've been given, that's a true sign of a very good person, I think.
I think they found it a humbling experience.
Yes.
mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. I liked A and E.
Wow. Tell us why.
I liked A because that she worked to donate to the women's shelter, and it surprised her. And I liked E because it was a Boy Scout project.
Oh.
So go figure that one.
I also liked A, Marguerite. That was my second choice. And I like that she went outside of her comfort zone. I think, you know, working in communicating and reaching out to victims of domestic violence is very hard for young people to kind of see beyond what exactly is happening to them. I found the work really moving, and I like that, you know, she said that the project forced me to be uncomfortable and learn to accept that feeling. And a lot of times when we are doing things out of our comfort zone, that's what it's all about. Like, you know, going out and helping people, not helping people like us, but helping people that aren't like us. I really found that was definitely an application that I saw as being worthy of the Ellen Piontek scholarship. So that was my number 2.
Oh. Well, I liked the A one because the girl kind of let us into her life a little bit and admitted that she'd had trouble with anxiety all her life. And when she took on this project, she didn't think that she was going to be able to do it. Or she talked herself into believing she couldn't do it. And her friend worked very hard, and they raised money and got all kinds of donations and things. So I think that, you know, that was probably a lot for a teenager to admit on the scholarship form that, you know, she had trouble with anxiety and that, you know, she worked really hard through it. And I also liked E, the fact that the kid quilts for homeless people. And I read that and I thought, how many teenage boys do you know that sit down and make quilts for homeless people? I mean, there's a lot of other parts to his life, obviously, but that little comment that he made was kind of struck me. It was like, oh my God, it's, you know, I don't know any boy that sits down and quilts. So anyway,
this is so hard.
It is. But I did like the girl's admission that she had trouble with anxiety all her life, and I think that was a big deal for a teenager to admit that to people she doesn't know, especially. So anyway, that was my feeling. But they were all wonderful. They were all wonderful. It was hard.
It was hard.
I kept drawing lines through, you know, all the letters. I had, like somebody said, they made check marks and all that stuff. It's the only way you could do it, really. So,
and they're all different.
Yeah.
And they were all different. Yeah.
How are we going to do this?
Well, I'm wondering if we could take a vote I'm just talking through it off my head. If we took, each person got to vote twice for their top 2 people, and then we took a vote for the top, then we took a second vote among just those 2 people.
I think that's
Okay, so we each vote for 2? Okay.
Right, you get 2 votes on this round. And
Okay.
then the second time we pick one from those 2 candidates.
Well, I had to, and now I've changed my mind a little bit, but I'm gonna stick with my original thought, so.
Well, it's good to hear what everyone says, because I think I'm changing my mind a little bit now too, but you get 2 votes. So
Okay.
Maybe raise your, I think this is informal, so we can take a formal second vote, but this first vote, I think a show of hands. So for A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm 6. B, C, D, and I'm 3, and E.
I'm D.
Oh, 4D, and so E. Raise your hand for E. Okay, 2E. So the top 2 were A and D. So you pick one of these, and
Oh my God.
and they're all deserving, all very qualified. Do we need a roll call vote for this, do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
So instead of A or nay, it's going to be either
A or D.
A or D. I don't know if that's a formal roll call vote, but the other way we could do it is an informal and then formalize it with a vote of just
The nomination.
taking a motion to have a particular person. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Okay, so this is just kind of an informal one, but between A and D, raise your hand once for A. And D. Oh boy.
We need a tiebreaker.
We do need a tiebreaker. Does anyone want to?
Should we ask David?
Well, we need to do this, I think, this month though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we could move to split the funds. We've done that before, but we had the decision made before we went through this process.
I think that it's
So what is it exactly? Even A or D? Ay, that's hard.
Well, that's because we don't have an odd number here tonight.
Oh boy, that's so, well, gosh.
Well, we all agree that those 2 are great candidates, right? Oh no.
Why don't we just split it?
Well, I don't know that we can though, because
I don't think you can, because it's published on the scholarship website. We could try again.
All right, well, let me make a case for A.
Okay.
I'll probably be wrong because the person will probably not be anything like this. But I think that when I look at A, it is a student who has probably not had a parent read this over for grammar, or if they have had a parent that's read it over for grammar, then the parent wasn't paying attention, because there's things like "we've partook," right? Now, that didn't go through grammar check, right? That's the voice of the student. So I just feel like, I don't know, she wants to do forensic psychology or criminology. She wants to, maybe she's been watching too many TV shows, or maybe she really wants to do this. I don't know. I taught freshmen in college for a long time, and a lot of times they'd come in and they'd want to do something that they'd seen on TV until they were halfway through their freshman semester, and then they'd say, oh, and do something else. So I don't know. I just feel like this person seems
genuine.
Yeah.
What would you say? We have partaken?
Yes, or
Oh.
we partook.
Okay.
Or we partook in a number of services, but you don't partake is not even the correct word here. Is we took part in a number of. So to me, this is A, she's not running it through grammar check, and B, she's probably a really sweet kid and she's talking above her vocabulary level, but she just seems to me like somebody that I think would really do well with a leg up of support. That's all. I just think it would mean more to this student than it would to D. That's how I feel about it. But that's just me. And I know that when I was in high school, I got a scholarship and I was coming from sort of a not terribly fabulous place, and it kind of turned me around because it was faith in me. And I feel like D already has people with enough faith in him or him, whatever. I just feel like it would make a bigger difference to that student. That's all.
Yeah, that was a great argument. You should, yeah.
Anyone else who'd like to speak on behalf of A or D? Not on behalf of them, but on their.
On behalf of D, I mean, I think that it's pretty evident in their essay regarding their service to the incarcerated community and instilling a love for poetry as a healing form of creativity. But I also went through the rest of their application, and they have a lot of other community service stuff and volunteerism in terms of, like, they did a eyeglass and food collection drive. They also volunteered at their temple. They also did holiday food drives and collected a lot of food and presented social justice topics. And let's see, she was very involved in Jewish leadership. I really felt like this person has not only, you know, in what they presented as their top community service accomplishment, but I feel like they have a history of being involved, not in 1 hour community service activities. You know, I raked my neighbor's lawn, but these are serious commitments in terms of their time and effort. So that is my argument for D.
Thank you, Sarah. Shall we try it one more time?
Okay.
All right, for A. Darn it! Okay. Let's do.
We might have to have
my vote for A because I'm very much on the fence. So it seems like we have 4 for D and 2 for A.
Okay, so there we are. That's fine.
Okay. So may I have a motion that candidate A be
candidate D.
D, sorry, excuse me. May I have a motion for candidate D?
Okay, I move that we award the Ellen Piontek scholarship to candidate D, sorry. Sorry, that was my mind has left for the day. Sorry.
All right, D. Second. Beth Domberger.
Aye.
Sue Butka.
Aye.
Marguerite Landry.
Aye.
Susan Beyer.
Aye.
Sarah Micas.
Aye.
Lauren Ritchie. Aye.
How do we tell all the people that didn't get it how great they really were as well, you know?
And they were.
Yeah.
I know.
It was not easy.
Actually, this year I thought we had some really strong candidates. So
Yes.
I feel like they represented for the community. So
So
Absolutely.
your chosen recipient is candidate D, as in dog.
Yeah,
Dog.
correct.
Yes.
Okay, I need to let Christina know because she's the only one who knows the identity of everyone. So thank you.
D as in deserving.
Very good, Beth.
Nice.
Right. Moving on, we have the Lori Sugarman Whittier Wellness Award nominees for 2022. And this will be presented. How did we decide to present them? Sarah, do you?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry,
So
if you
typically
can.
it's done at Celebrate Wellness, but given we weren't able to officially go forward with that this year, the Board of Selectmen has offered to let us commandeer some time during one of their meetings to formally present an award to this recipient.
Oh, wonderful.
We had hoped to do something at one of the food truck festivals where it was more of a excuse me, public and celebratory space. However, the Rotary Club has requested that they use that time for announcing their service awards. So if anybody has additional ideas as to how we can publicly recognize our recipient this year, in addition to in the context of a select board meeting, I am all ears.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah,
That's a tough one. Do the people who were nominated all get a recognition of some kind, like flowers or something?
Excuse me. Yes, I did ask Friends of the Southborough Youth Commission about that, and they did say that within a particular budget, they would be willing to do a small gift for each nominee, with something more substantial for the recipient.
Oh, I support that. Sorry, because I think I have no words left today. Sorry. I think that all of these nominees are wonderful. And so it's really, I hate to pick one.
So we received 2 nominations, and we're okay to discuss the names of these nominations. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's 3, right?
There is
It's
public.
in the
So,
packet, so it's already been
right.
publicized. Yeah.
So
I have to say that I need to I think the word is recuse myself, because I'm a close friend to one of them, and I feel like I'd be terribly biased. So I've already decided that I will not be voting tonight.
All right, thank you. That gives us 5. So that's looking up. So we had 2 nominations for Freddie Gillespie, and a nomination for Dan Morrison, and a nomination for Kathy Wilson. All of which were strong nominations. Does anyone want to speak on behalf of any of them, or should we take a vote? Susan, your screen lit up. I wasn't sure if you were going to say something or not.
Oh no.
I would have to, I'm a little partial to Kathy Wilson because she's the school psychologist at Ben. I know, I do not know her, but I just, I think that this is a very difficult time for someone in her role, managing all the mental health issues, especially, you know, we're seeing a increase even in elementary school age kids, and I'm sure her job hasn't been easy. And I'm appreciative of the fact that one of her families, someone that obviously she provided services to, nominated her. So I'm a little partial to that. Although the others seem, you know, having green spaces is very important too, not only for our mental health wellness, but also for our physical health wellness. So I think Freddie, it seems very remarkable too.
Did we discuss this previously on Zoom? It seems like the last time I remember discussing this, it was a in-person meeting. I don't know, it feels weird to be talking about it on Zoom.
I think we did discuss the nominees last year on Zoom.
Okay.
I think we had less discussion and more of a vote.
Yeah,
if I recall.
I know, Marguerite, I agree with you a little bit because
it feels a little weird.
Okay. So,
and again, all three of them have been wonderful to this town. So
absolutely. Let's go ahead and just take a vote then. Because that was part of what we did last year. That was part of an open meeting. Any concerns with that before we do that?
You mean just call the names of the nominees and then have us vote for them?
Yes.
Hold up our hands? Okay.
Yes. So there'll be 3 and you pick one. For Freddie Gillespie. Dan Morrison. And Kathy Wilson. Okay. So our, should that stand as a vote or do we need to have a?
I think that we just voted.
Okay, we don't need a roll call vote for that, but we did it by hand.
So what was it? Freddie was 1 or 2? 2? 2. Okay.
Okay.
Looks like Kathy Wilson is our winner, our person. Doesn't feel right calling them a winner. They're all winners.
They're all winners, right?
And I think that even they'll be notified that they were nominated as well. And as Sarah said, that there should be something from the Friends group for all of the nominations.
All
and I
three,
think
right.
that'll
Each nominee will be getting a letter outlining that they were nominated, along with some of what was said about their character and their contributions. And in the past, we've given a floral arrangement. I'm not sure if Dan would appreciate a floral arrangement as much as, I don't mean to be sexist in any way, but you know, what we did consider doing was, you know, offering a choice of an appreciation gift of some kind, or, you know, we could ask his principal, you know, what kinds of things he enjoys. Same thing with our other nominee. So
yeah, I think we should either do the same for all.
Yeah.
And how we approach that.
Yeah.
Maybe a gift certificate to a local eatery or something.
Or gift card for Amazon or whatever.
Right.
As long as we're not boycotting Amazon. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about Tommaso's or something?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll reconnect with friends on that to find out what they're comfortable with in terms of the budget. So
great. So speaking of budgets, Sarah, are you able to discuss the laptop for intern?
I'm gonna try. Looking at me and going,
Do you want us to come back to that?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
So the IT director let me know. He came by to tell me he has been working on the laptop to get it up to snuff with the town's security standards, and that, hold on.
Oh.
I'm just going to power through this because it's not that long. That the laptop is a little, I can't, I'm sorry. let's go back to it. Okay. I apologize.
That's fine. No problem.
We'll circle back.
Sarah, is that something we needed to talk about during this particular meeting?
No.
Versus next one?
We have time. The intern that's going to be using this laptop in question doesn't start till the fall.
Okay.
Oh, good.
We can put it off to another meeting.
Okay.
Why don't we do that?
Okay, great. Thank you.
That leaves us with some final outreach opportunities. I will share screen again. The Shop with a Purpose has 3 opportunities, one of which is filled and 2 remaining for 1 person. And the food truck festival dates are Sign Up Genius had several opportunities remaining. So I just encourage you to try to attend any of those. I went to the egg hunt with Shannon, and it just tickled me no end. It was just so much fun to do, and I felt like Shannon was able to do a lot of outreach while I was doing art with the kids, and I had a great time. So I'm going to try to do more of these. Any questions about the outreach opportunities?
Can I sign up for one now or no? By just
You
telling
gotta
you?
go on Sign Up Genius. I think.
Okay.
I think Christina sent out something.
Okay.
But as Lauren said, it is actually fun to get out there and be with the people and talk about what we do. It is very fulfilling, and there's so many people that are very grateful for the services we offer. It really it energizes you. So I highly recommend getting out there and being among them. So
I just wanted to comment on the Shop with a Purpose, or as we call it internally, SWAP.
Like
this is so much easier to say. I think we might be covered. I think the ideal scenario was to have 2 people for each shift, but Sarah Mikas, you're signed up for shift number 2 on your own, and
yep.
I consider you to be fairly outgoing. So I think if you're comfortable with it, that
I probably have my dad with me anyway, so
okay,
he can hang out with me. So
and then Sue, I know that you had offered to sign up for the third shift.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I'll be
again
there
on
anyway
your
the
own
whole time. So
okay.
I'm kind of a floater that day, so I would love to take a spot.
Okay, great. So my understanding is that we should be all set for that, but it's really the food truck dates that are it's kind of a big ask to have somebody cover the entire thing. So I know Lauren, I think you had signed up for part of the 25th, and I was going to cover the first half of that. So that's another way to approach it if people want to do, half of one of the food truck festival dates. That's anything you can do is helpful. Plus it's a fun and festive environment. And
I can look at my schedule. I can probably sign up for another one. So
3:30 is a little bit early. If you like my schedule, I'm supposed to work till 5 or 6. So.
Right. And that's where actually our staff can come in, because there's 2 of us actually 3 of us that work later on Wednesdays. So the 3 of us might rotate and cover the first half of this outreach. And then if you guys are available to do the second half where you can, maybe we can divide and conquer that way. But really, these outreach opportunities have been, like as Sarah said, very energizing, but they've also really been helpful. And we've had lots of new families that we've never met before who have expressed a lot of appreciation for the services we're offering. And I can't count how many times people have said, I had no idea you existed or that you did this. So it's really has been paying off.
Yeah, that's great feedback to know that.
So
Yeah,
that
so
brings us to
is it helpful to have the sign up genius sent again?
I would say yes.
Please. Yes,
Okay.
please.
I can ask Christina to do that.
It gets buried.
It's been really helpful to have Christina doing a lot of that administrative work that makes things run very smoothly.
I agree.
She's awesome.
She's been great. So that brings us to adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Beth?
Aye.
Sue Butka?
Aye.
Marguerite Landry?
Aye.
Susan Byer?
Aye.
And Sarah Micas?
Aye.
So Beth, the reason I got hung up there as I was trying to think is you'll be at our June meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. So I just want to make sure we weren't having you adjourn your last meeting there.
That would be horrible.
I would love, if
right,
it's
thank you,
possible,
everyone.
to do an end of the year get together in person if we could, and say
Yeah, that's
express
always
our
nice.
thanks to Beth.
It's always nice to get together.
I would love to do that. That would be awesome.
Well, we'll I guess have to figure out how to navigate that. Okay. Thanks for everybody's patience. I'm sorry I was kind of I was here the whole time.
Sick kid.
All good.
I hope he feels better.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, anyway.
Right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
I appreciate you all.
See you
Thank
next
you.
month.
Thank
Bye.
you.